Hello and welcome to Base Plate Reviews. So I've actually taken a bit of a risk with this set, and it is to do with that discount you can see there, but we'll get onto that in a second. So this is set number 76447, Hogwarts Castle Flying Lessons, 651 pieces, regularly goes for 80 US dollars, 80 euros, 70 British pounds and 100 Canadian dollars, which is what I picked it up in. But you can see I've paid just under 60 Canadian dollars here, so picked it up from Walmart, but it was one of those which was buy as is, so it wasn't that it was on discount generally. And if I spin this around, you'll see why it was on discount. So if I just show you here, it was actually opened up at the back there. Now I checked in store, just kind of prized it open and took a look, and I'm pretty sure the number of bags is correct in there. This isn't a set which comes with an exclusive gold minifigure or anything, but it does come with those collectible portraits, so potentially that's not there. Like I say, I haven't actually looked through this properly. I just checked in store whether it had the right number of bags. I'm pretty sure it did. It feels fairly full. I'm hopeful that it doesn't look like it was necessarily one which was prized open. It may just be that the adhesive came a bit loose and so they couldn't really sell it at full price. That's what I'm hoping, but let's get it open and take a look and see whether we are missing anything. I am pretty hopeful that everything is going to be here. I couldn't see anything missing, like I say, when I did kind of have a look through it in store, just subtly. But let's get this open and just see whether I'm going to be dealing with a pretty incomplete set or whether this is not going to be too bad. I think we'll open it a bit differently and just peel the whole back of it open. Well, I'm pretty hopeful. So there are bags 1 through 7 here, and when I looked in the booklet it looks like there are exactly 7 bags. So like I say, I'm actually pretty hopeful that I've got this for a 40% discount when it wasn't discounted. I haven't seen it discounted at that kind of rate. Full stop. I think in general you'll see 20% discounts on these types of sets. Of course, I'm going right up to Black Friday here. It's probably going to be 50% off at Amazon and it will be a fully complete set. I don't know where the, what was it called, the portraits? Yeah, the collectible portraits are, whether they're just in the bags regularly. I think that maybe they are. Yes, looking in bag 1, looks like I've got 2 collectible portraits just here. So I think I've got myself a bit of a deal here. It's certainly a set which I'm going to enjoy doing the review for, but I may well end up, once it's all built, parting it out and using it for some other things. I think that getting 651 pieces for under 60 Canadian dollars is pretty good. Anyway, let's get to building and I'll come back to you to let you know whether there was anything missing and what the final product looks like. And here we are, Hogwarts Castle Flying Lessons in all its glory. No missing pieces, so I think I did pretty well getting that for 40% off. Did have the 2 portraits there as well, so we got Salazar Slytherin on the left and an unknown sleeping wizard on the right. And there's actually 2 slots for those to clip onto just in here. Now we've got 6 minifigures, actually 7 if we include the statue as well. So there were 7 bags. This took me just over an hour to build, so about 10 minutes a bag, and it was really enjoyable. What we've ended up with is something that looks really good, but I'll tell you what, it looks even better once I start folding this all up. So folds together really easily. You saw I did that all with one hand, and now we have, if I clip this into place, just there, we have a fully enclosed, maybe apart from this bit here, tower for the castle. And of course this fits together with the rest of the Harry Potter castle sets that we've got out at the moment, the Great Hall being the biggest of them. And I think it looks really, really good. There's some other great parts to this. So there's actually a couple of bits which slide out from the set and you end up with a transfiguration classroom, which is why we've got Professor McGonagall just down here. You've also got an area for all of the Quidditch supplies. Should be able to see that just down there, and then the Transfiguration classroom just up there. You'll see how this just slides out. We've got a couple of pieces where it slides into at the sides. You can see that actually clips on at the back as well to those blue pieces. But we get the classroom down here. Good, that looks pretty small, but even this folds out and becomes pretty usable. You can see we've got a little turntable here, so you can transform the cup into a raven, I believe. Yeah, it's pretty clever stuff. I can't get that Quidditch supplies bit out just yet. I need to fold this open, but once I do, this just slides out as well, and suddenly we've got our Quidditch supplies just there. So we've got the ball, we've got the golden snitch, a couple of other bits just there, a Quidditch helmet, I think that's pretty nice, and a couple of the cudgels, the bats, whatever they call them, that they use to hit the balls. Yeah, this is some really clever stuff. I really like how that all just folds up into a cohesive tower. But anyway, let's take a look at these minifigures. They're obviously an important part of the set too.
Onto our minifigures, and we'll start off with our most standard one, which is of course Harry Potter himself. And because this is a Philosopher's Stone scene, we have got all of our year one students with those short legs do have an alternate face for Harry, and actually all of the minifigures here. Onto Malfoy, perfectly decent again in his Hogwarts uniform, his Slytherin one, and this is perfectly decent. He's got his broom, everything's good here. Then onto Neville, he's probably the best of our main cast. He's got his Remembrall, which is really nice, and perfectly good looking one again. On to Professor McGonagall, who's probably the odd one out of all of these minifigures, because of course she's more to do with the Transfiguration classroom, all the rest to do with the flying lessons. We have had more interesting prints on her body than this, but this is pretty accurate to the film, and I think it's the right way to go. On to Oliver Wood then, and this is only the third time we've got him in Lego form. The previous two times he's been in his full-on Quidditch gear, all of his red Gryffindor stuff, so nice to get him with this different torso, even if it is a little plain. Finally on to Madam Hooch, and I think this is the fifth time we've got her in Lego form. This is pretty similar to the 2021 version, but perfectly good. They're definitely the best two versions of this character, and it is nice to get her with the alternate face with the flying goggles on.
There are various places in the set where you can place the characters flying their brooms. So we've got Neville up there, all tangled up. But you've also got these bits. They actually have some small movement functions. Just go up and down a little bit, just with a couple of bits inside just here. So you can see just there and just there. And then we get that little bit of movement. Nice to have a bit of a play feature. On the interior here, looks like we've got an office for Professor McGonagall. We've got a trophy room for the Quidditch stuff. That's where we've got the bits for the portraits just there. And on the other side, just here, we've got Salazar Slytherin. Yeah, it's a really nice set. At the moment we've got this empty. When it is empty, it does look like it's a bit perilous. If you went inside there, it's a big empty tower. But like I say, really easy to slot the classrooms, or the classroom and the Quidditch supplies in. Just overall, like I say, very impressed with the set. I think there's some nice interest in terms of the design. It could have just been all tan. They've got some exposed masonry in various places. Yeah, it looks great. Even just the added bits of vegetation. Very nice stuff. I think there's some really good detailing in this set. Overall thoughts then, well, I have to say I think this is both a great play and display set, and that's really all you can ask for. Now, would I like to see it a little bit cheaper than it is when it's full price? Yes, of course, I wouldn't have bought it at that price, but I think getting a 40% discount on this was absolutely fantastic. Obviously I took my chances getting an open box set, but it's worked out pretty well for me. Like I say, you're taking a risk when you do something like that. Now, you can get this available for 20% off pretty readily. Obviously, you just had the Lego Insiders weekend. You got Black Friday coming up as well, so you might have some discounts from Lego directly. But yeah, overall, I mean, it just makes me pretty jealous of the people who are picking up that, you know, all of the modular elements and building themselves a big Hogwarts castle. Of course, if you do that, you're going to get a lot of duplicate minifigures. Now, the ones that are probably going to be exclusive to this one are Madam Hooch and the Charisma Vacuum that is Oliver Wood. But the other ones, I'm pretty sure you're going to get plenty of Malfoys and McGonagalls, and obviously Harry Potter and Neville Longbottoms. But that's just the nature of collecting Harry Potter sets. You do get a lot of duplicate minifigures, minor discrepancies, differences between them. But yeah, overall, just a really great set. Hopefully the review's been useful to you. If it has, then please do leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're not subscribed already. We'll be getting back to some city stuff, some city building. But hopefully you've enjoyed this little excursion into the Wizarding World with a few Harry Potter reviews. Anyway, with that, I'll leave you and say as always, be good.